The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome to the Habit-Based Lifestyle and Business Secrets Show. Today, we're going to be talking specifically about the 4 steps to creating a high-ticket offer. So if you guys are just tuning in, please hashtag live. Let me know that you're tuning in right now. If you are watching the replay, hashtag replay. But today, as we get into this, I want to talk specifically about the 4 steps to creating a high ticket offer and how that has a dramatic impact on your business. Now, you may be watching this and you may be thinking, well, I may not have a high ticket offer, or I don't even know how to build one. And so today we're going to walk through kind of the step-by-step framework of what I use to create a high ticket offer with my coaching clients that pay me tens of thousands of dollars to learn how to do this. We're going to go through this today for you. And not only that, but we're going to teach you kind of the step-by-step framework that they use and that we use in order to do this. So as we get into this today, let me just pull this up for anybody watching. There we go. So we got some hashtag lives on here. If you guys are watching the replay, hashtag replay. If you're watching live, just go ahead and tap in live. If you have questions throughout this, please feel free. Now, this really comes from my own experience. When I first started doing this style of coaching, I kind of went into a 30-day challenge. That was one of the first things that I did. And I was charging, I think, $300-$400 for a 30-day challenge. Now, one of the problems that presented was, let's just say my goal was to make, my first $20,000. That meant I needed roughly, 620 to 630 people to make that. Now, in making that meant I needed a large amount of people. Well, at the time, because of my social media presence, because of other things, I really didn't have that many people that I had access to. And so if I wanted to make that $20,000, it would be easier to find 10 people that paid us $2,000 versus 630 people who are paying us $300. And so as you're watching this, I want you to think about, is it easier for you to go out and find 630 people like I tried to, or, if we even started a lower end and charged $100, I would need to find 3 times more than that amount of people to be able to make that first $20,000. I'd actually need 2,000 people. And so is it easier for you to find 2,000? Is it easier for you to find 600? Or is it easier for you to find 10? And where we are at now and just starting out, I would say it's much easier to find 10 people willing to pay you $2,000. And you may not know, hey, how do I build this offer? We're going to walk you through that. But I just want you to get your mind wrapped around the way that you think in doing this. Now, a lot of the people we're working with are, making transactions between $2,000 and $24,000. Most of our fitness, nutrition, chiropractic, health and wellness people, they range anywhere from $2,000 up to $12,000. And then more of our coaches, business coaches, kind of lifestyle and business, or life and business. These guys are more in the $7,500 up to $24,000. I do have some people, including myself, that charge over that or have charged over that. But on average, most of the high ticket stuff we're doing right now is between $2,000 and $24,000. Now, what I really want to do is draw out the framework of how we actually build this high ticket offer, because I believe that, like I said, you can either go for 2,000 people, you can go for 630, like I did in the beginning. And we have to work a lot harder. So think about having to serve 600 people versus having to serve 10. Think about having to serve 2,000 versus having to serve 10. The result may be the same, but the amount of work that goes into it, having to serve 600 people, 2,000, I don't know if you've ever done that, but that is a lot of people and a lot of energy that you're going to get taken away from you. And so first things first is, I believe that starting small allows you to be able to really step into kind of your ideal model of business. And that's really what I want to teach you today. And so we're going to get into this. Hold on one sec. All right, there we go. So as we get into this today, I want you to think about a couple things. Like, what is the main problem that you help people with? And as we think of this, this is where we're going to start. So number one thing is what is that problem costing your client to stay the same? And then what is the value of you helping them solve that? So cost of staying the same versus value of you helping them solve that. So let's say we have a business problem, and let's just say maybe I'm not getting leads, and the cost of me staying the same is costing me, let's just say $10,000 a month. And so that $10,000 a month over a year, it's costing me $120K over the year, or the value of me helping them solve that problem. Now I see a value in me solving this problem. Or let's say, you not doing marketing and relying on referrals, and this is where we get into a lot of this conversation with some of the people we work with, especially chiropractors. I don't want to break it to you, but they all seem to say kind of the same thing as like, hey, our business is off referrals. Well, that's great. But that is not a predictable way of doing business. That's kind of like having icing on the cake. It's just that much sweeter. But imagine if I was missing out on $10,000 every month in revenue. That's another $120,000 into my business per year. And I would say if somebody's not doing marketing, we're looking at like $10,000 to $30,000 easily in additional revenue in our business, which, let's say an average employee may cost you between $30,000 to $60,000. Maybe adding another person into your clinic that frees you up more time. Not only are you going to pay them, but you're also going to allow yourself more freedom and things like that. And so really the problem that we're solving is we're taking care of a need, which is marketing, and we're giving them back value, maybe a system. And so let's just say by me helping them solve this problem, this could be potentially a $30K to $60K problem solving. So even if, let's say I was missing out on $120,000 and it cost me $30,000 to learn how to make another $120,000, I would be stupid not to. Let's say it cost me $30,000 to make $40,000. I'm still ahead 10. It would be stupid for me to not do that. Like basic mathematics tells me that that is like the simplest style of math. I give 30, I get back 40. I give 30, I get back 60. I give 30, I get back 120. It would be crazy of me not to do any of those if I really understand mathematics. Now, a lot of people are really cheap when it comes to marketing, but they're not so cheap when it comes to buying a new car, buying a house and things like that, which those are great. It's nice to have a car, but guess what? If I invested more in my marketing rather than being a cheapskate, I may have, you know, triple the type of car I want or triple the size of the house I want. But because I'm playing small, that keeps me from doing that. And so the cost of staying the same, what's the cost of your client staying the same? Maybe it's on the fitness side. Maybe it's somebody overweight, out of shape, health problems. Maybe it's on the chiropractic side. Maybe somebody's injured and they're in pain. If you've ever been in pain, there's a huge, I was in pain for 2 months earlier this year. And I got to tell you, like, it was the first time I ever experienced pain to the point where I was like in tears a couple times. But I'm like, dude, I would do anything to get out of the pain I'm in right now. I don't give a shit what it costs. And I would probably say I spent $10,000 to $12,000 going to different doctors, going to different chiropractors, going to different people to help solve my problem. And so when you're looking at this, like, people are willing to pay more money by the problems that you're actually solving. So what problem do you actually help people solve? And what is it worth to them for you to solve those problems? Typically, the higher level problem I'm solving, the more money I can charge, and that's one of the best ways to think of this. And so think of, like, what is the one problem that you solve better than anybody else? And that's how we're going to begin to dictate what you charge in your program. Now, let's just say you're charging $2,000. Your goal was to make your first $20,000 and you needed 10 new clients to do this. And so you'd have to figure out what problem number one is for you. One of the things that we work on inside of our program is how to get more of your ideal clients into your Facebook profile. And so we're going to help you get 10 to 15 quality leads. And when I say quality, these are high ticket people willing to spend $2,000 up to $24,000 per transaction. That's the number one problem we solve for people. We teach them how to leverage their Facebook profile to do that, not their business page, not Facebook ads, not ClickFunnels, none of that stuff, but how to leverage your personal profile to do this. So that is problem number one. What is that worth to people? That's easily worth 10 to 25K a month. Easily. I've had people go up to 50K. I've had people go up to $90,000 using this per month. And we've had a few people do 6 figures in a month using this model. So I can back up what I charge by the results that I'm getting. You may just be starting out. So wherever you're at, what are the results? What is the problem? And then what are the results that you're able to get? Now, the other thing is this: we have pillars. So remember, when we have a high ticket offer, I can't offer one service. I must be able to offer a 3, 4, or 5 pillar system or service. Now, a lot of people will come to me and say, well, I'm just a chiropractor, I'm just a trainer, I'm just a coach. But what are the 3 to 4 to 5 main problems people come to you with, and what things inside of your business do you help them solve it? So let me give you a little example. So one of the things that we often look at are, let's say I'm a fitness person. So most of the clients that come in for fitness, they probably, if they're overweight, they probably have some type of nutrition issue, or at least that's going to help them, with being overweight, probably some type of mindset. And most likely they may have a relationship problem. So these would be kind of my 4 pillars, because here's the thing is, most people that are overweight have a bad relationship with someone else or themselves, or some past trauma. They may have some mindset or doubt issues. They probably, get stressed from their relationship or from their negative mindset. And then nutritionally, they're deficient in something. Maybe they're eating too much, not eating enough of the right things. Maybe they're not getting enough micronutrients in, whatever that is. There's definitely, I'm actually going to erase this. There's definitely some things going on in their lifestyle, could be habits, things like that, in their relationships that are giving them some issues. And then we obviously have fitness, which, fitness is one of the easiest ways to begin correcting, weight issues. So if someone's not moving, someone's not exercising, we can address this really easy. We'd move into nutrition, and then we'd find out, well, what's behind the choices you're making as far as your mindset. Do you have a positive outlook on life, or do you feel depressed? And then we get into lifestyle choices like, hey, how can we begin setting up your environment, setting up your lifestyle so that you can be successful in your health journey. So these would be my four pillars if I was a fitness person. But think about it this way. If you're doing, chiropractic, what are the things that you're talking about with your clients all the time? Probably some type of, body care. What are things that they need to do outside of your adjustments? What's some lifestyle choices that they have? And then what are some things in their environment that you might need to clean up? And those could be things like sleep, stress, different things, energy. These can all be addressed. If you're comfortable, you could add in nutrition. If you're not, then you also have chiropractic care. One of the things that I had somebody on a call yesterday is they're like, I don't want to add in nutrition. I feel like I'm a professional at chiropractic. But when you really think about this, is like, what are the three main problems people are coming into you with? Some could be pain. Some could be stress. Some could be energy. And so these are the three things that I'm talking about all the time with clients anyways. I might as well have a system that helps people get out of pain, helps people eliminate stress. And really, pain just comes down to putting extra stress on an area of life, putting extra stress on a joint from maybe doing something too much. Could be sitting, could be the type of workouts, or energy deficiency, could be environmental stuff. So it could be, how am I sleeping? How am I eating? Different things like that. And then how coming into a chiropractor could actually help that. Now, if we get into coaching, we could talk about business. We could talk about lifestyle. We could talk about mindset. And we can talk about skill set. Like, what are skills that I may need to learn to, do better, be better at business? What are things going on in my lifestyle? Like, maybe marriage, kids, relationships. What are things going into my mindset? So what are like stress, energy. So all of these things begin to be worth more than just business. Okay. So business could be marketing. Maybe you're an expert in marketing. Could be sales. Maybe you're an expert at sales. Maybe you're an expert at systems. Maybe you're an expert at leadership or building teams. Maybe a combination of both. Maybe the skill sets that I need to learn are where we learn specific tactics inside of marketing. We learn specific tactics inside of sales or inside of systems, or even like scaling a business. These are all worth higher level. These are all solving higher level problems. Think about this. Like, if I'm having marriage problems or I'm helping people solve marriage problems, that impacts my business in a major way. Because I know this, like if your marriage is not working, that's going to translate over into business. And what a lot of people do is marriage isn't working, they'll go all in on business, and that's where they'll get everything from. But just so you know, when your marriage isn't working, even if you work your butt off in business and you make more money, you're probably not going to be as fulfilled as when it is working. At least that's what I've experienced. If I'm not in alignment with my wife, my kids, my relationships, even prayer, even spirituality, I'm not as fulfilled. Even if I'm making more money, I'm just not as fulfilled. And so your pillars should be created off the problems people are coming into you with. So, like I said, chiropractors, a lot of people are going to be coming in with pain. They're going to be coming in with stress. Pain is the cause of stress, whether it's, stress of anxiety, things like that, kind of that internal stress, or it's just stress on a joint. This is typically where pain comes from. It's just figuring out where the pain's at and what type of stress they have. Energy, energy is from the environment, all these things. So we want to make sure we're addressing that. So none of these things are things that you're not talking about on a day-to-day basis, but you just usually don't have something other than just chiropractic care that alleviates that pain, alleviates that stress. Remember this, is someone may only see you once or twice a week. If you're a chiropractor, 15 minutes max, probably. So that's 30 minutes. What about the other 170 some hours a week they're outside of your clinic? What are things that you can teach people or help them with so that they can continue to kind of decrease that stress? I love the fact that so many people I talk to, they're like, oh, I'm a holistic person, but all they teach is just chiropractic care. They don't teach anything else. Same with fitness, same with nutrition, is like, hey, your client may only see you 2 to 3 hours a week. It's what they're doing the other 170 some hours a week that really matters. And so if we can teach people what to do, then that's where, this stuff really starts to take place. Even for business or lifestyle is, hey, we may only be able to be on a call for 30 minutes to an hour, a couple times a week, but it's what you do with that call that really matters. And so these pillars are ways that we help people solve the problems in our business. The other thing is, power. So this is something that a lot of people don't think about, but like, what is your superpower? What is the thing that you're better at than anybody else, or at least people come to you because you're better at that than anybody else? For me, people come to me because I can get them results better than anybody else or anybody that thought they were possible. Now, they may not know that yet, but I will help them break down systematically how to get results in their business, in their lifestyle, and help them do things they never thought was possible. Now, I've always been able to do this, even when I was, a personal trainer, even, coming into more coaching lifestyle. Is my number one thing is to help people get results better in all areas of their life, and more than they've ever thought was possible. But what is your superpower? Because if you don't know your superpower, then you are not understanding why people are really coming to you. Sure, they may be coming to you for fitness and nutrition advice, but they're probably coming into you because they feel like you have some type of superpower that they don't have. Same with, chiropractic, as most people think, well, they're just coming into me to get adjusted. But if you really learn the superpower, and it's probably, if you're in the health and wellness space, it's probably some type of healing you can help them with their body. If you're in the business space, it's probably some type of healing that you can help them with in their business. Either way, this is the path to healing someone else. Now, your superpower is your ability to heal someone else or some part of their life. And I don't mean you're going to do it for them. I don't mean that you're, going to do their work, they just look to you for that answer. So let me know if you guys have any questions so far. I know we're kind of going through a lot, but I really want you to look at this as like, hey, people are, even if you're in like an insurance space, financial services, things like that, there's a healing power that you have, a superpower that people feel like you can help them more than anyone else. Maybe it's just helping them understand what it is that they actually want in their life, what they actually need to move forward, and going from there. Again, if you don't understand this, start asking some of your clients, like, hey, what do you think my superpower is? Or people that come into you, like, what's the real reason we're working together? Like, I'd really like to know what attracted you to me. Chances are people will start telling you a very similar thing, and so from that, you have to begin to your superpower leverage and lead with your superpower. Maybe it's just certainty and how you show up and confidence. And that's what people are attracted to. And so they're naturally attracted to your certainty. They're naturally attracted to your confidence. And so from that, that's where it started. But that's also where people, see that and they borrow that confidence and that strength that you have, and they take it into the rest of their life. All right, so let's get into price point. So we have problem, we have pillars, which is your 3 to 4 or 5 pillar system, and we have power. Like, what is your superpower ultimately that you have more than anybody else? There's somebody on here, a guy Ryan I was talking to yesterday. He's got 4 chiropractic clinics, and he's crushing it, and he really wants to get into consulting. And I'm like, man, your superpower is obviously leading teams. Leadership is a huge superpower for you. But like, my job when I work with someone is to really pull out their superpower and figure that out for them and have them leverage that and lead with that. Doesn't mean that a lot of the other things that are not important, but like, even if you're a chiropractor, like, your superpower is not a chiropractor. It's the result that you get leveraging the tool of chiropractic to help people. Even if you're a fitness trainer, fitness is not your superpower. Maybe the way that you coach or the simplicity you bring to what you teach is a superpower. But remember, this is like, even for me, like, I learned, fitness at a young age. I was, coaching fitness at 18, 19 years old. That wasn't my superpower. The superpower was in me having the ability to help people get results they never thought was possible. And fitness was just the tool that I leveraged with that. And so oftentimes we think, nutrition, fitness, chiropractic, business coaching is our superpower. That's really not. It's the result we help people get leveraging that tool. So remember that when it comes to your superpower. I'll also ask your clients, like, I will promise you, whether you're new at this, ask friends. If you don't have any clients, ask friends and family what they think your superpower is. If you have clients, go to your clients and ask them, hey, what do you think that my superpower is? And I will guarantee you that there will be a consistent answer that you will want. And it'll be different than what you think. Because I've done this several times, it'll be much different than what you actually think it is. And then the final piece in this is going to be price point. So how do we know what to charge? Well, what are things that you've learned? What are things that you've paid other people to learn them? So, and I'm not talking just about school. So, I mean, like, think about if I went to, learned a 4-year degree and I got an exercise science. To me, that doesn't really make you any money or make you valuable in money. No different than if I went to chiropractic school. Yes, you pay a lot for your education, but what value have you paid other people? So let's just say I paid $500,000, to learn skills of being a coach. Many of the other things that I've learned along the way, I would say there's specific schools that you could have went to get secondary education beyond just the normal stuff that could be very valuable, and have like specialized training. So what are some things in specialized training that you've paid for? What's the most you've ever paid for coaching? Most I ever paid for coaching was $75,000 for 6 months. And I've done $50,000 for 6 months. And so for that means that I've been willing to invest 75K, $50,000 for 6 months. I've also been willing to invest, six figures over a year. So I would have no problem, or I should have no problem asking someone else to pay that. Now, that doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to do that, but typically, if the most you've ever paid for coaching is $2,000, you're going to have a really hard time, paying 10. If the most you've ever paid for coaching is $500, you're going to have a really hard time charging $2,000. So we charge with what we're in alignment with. So what are you in alignment with? Because alignment is the number one thing that's going to keep you from either making money, or it's going to be the number one thing that's going to make you money. And so you have to have a price that you feel confident in, you feel like you're in alignment with. And one of the things that I see is a lot of times people in their head, they'll say $3,500, but their body is moving all over the place, which tells me that they're not in alignment with what their actual price point is. So what have you paid? Specialized training, continue education, things like that. And I don't mean just the basics. I mean, what have you paid maybe to be coached by somebody else, to be led by someone else, specialized trainings, things like that. What's the most you've ever paid for a coach? And then we go from there. So start with what put you in alignment. Maybe it's 2K, maybe it's 10K. What if you're getting all yeses from people, then you're charging too little. If you're getting all no's from people, you're either charging too much or there's not enough value in your program. So remember, and if you're not getting anybody, then we got to go back to square one, which your problem is probably not your offer, your problem is probably in your marketing. And so as we go through this, whether you charge 2K, 10K, 20K, 24K, it's more about the value that you provide, the problem you solve, and the confidence and alignment you have in that number than it is anything else. When I charge $30,000 to $50,000 for one-on-one coaching, the difference between 30 and 50 was the confidence I had in myself and the ability to get people results. The difference in doing my first one at 397, I remember doing 397. I'm like, man, I'm giving these guys, $5,000 to $10,000 in service, and they're not even appreciating it because they're only paying $300-400. So make sure that the price point you have is you're in alignment with that. Not only that, but you can show the proof that you're actually, I would never charge somebody more for coaching than what I've paid myself. So I would never charge somebody over, $75,000 for 6 months because I would feel like I was out of alignment. I would never charge anybody, more than what I've paid myself. And that's one of the things that I talk about, like leading yourself, is like, hey, I'm not charging someone more than what I paid for coaching because I just don't feel like I'd be in alignment with that. But if you're having a problem with even 2K, is like, you have to go back through what are the main problems I'm solving? What's the value I'm giving people? What are the pillars that are going to help me solve their problems? What's my superpower? What's the thing I can help people with better than anybody else? How can I leverage that and lead that with someone else? And then what is the price point that I feel most in alignment with? And once I do that, I now have my high ticket offer. And that's really how we create this inside of our program. Again, I have people paying tens of thousands of dollars to learn this. The problem is I know most people on here that are doing this for free probably aren't going to take it seriously. And they're probably going to go do some challenge for $100 and try to wait for 2,000 people to come into, their group or come into contact with them. And it's just not going to work. So would you rather have 100 people? People paying $100 at 2,000 people, or would you rather have 2K and 10 people? They both equal $20,000, but I can guarantee you this one is 10 to 20 times more the amount of work than this. And I would probably even say like 30 to 40 times more the amount of work than it takes to get to this. So let me know what you guys, if you have questions on this, feedback. If you're watching the replay, please post questions in this, because this is really how we build high ticket offers. Even if you don't have one, even if you don't understand one, but this is a great way for you to just get into the marketplace right away. Again, ask people for feedback. What's your superpower? What are the main problems people are coming into your business for you to solve? And that's what we really create our pillars out of. And then make sure that your price point, you're in alignment with that. Because if you're not, it doesn't matter what you charge. You're not gonna be able to get clients. They're gonna feel that uncertainty in you, and they're not gonna want to sign up with you. So, guys, I'd love to get your feedback. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. If you want me to go in depth any more on this, just private message me and let's get into a conversation. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Until Friday's show, we're going to be going through redesigning your next 90-day challenge with your habits and how to get them customized into what you're actually shooting for. So we'll talk to you guys soon.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse